Hello and welcome to Optimal Game State. This is my monthly look back at the previous month, and this is for November. I know I'm a little bit late. I'm about halfway through December at the moment, but yeah, we're into the Christmas season. We're getting ready for things. So this is a monthly episode. This is where I look at only the box games. So these are the games that we have here. So Kill Team Necromunda, Imperialis, and the rest of the epic ones if we ever get a chance. Warcry, Blood Bowl, Warhammer Underworlds, and sometimes Warhammer Quest if GW ever do anything for it. November is a bit of a weird month. So we got the new release of Emberguard, so the new second edition of Warhammer Underworlds, and along with that, a little bit later came 2 new warbands and 2 new decks. So obviously that kind of expands things out. It is a great release for new players. I highly recommend it. It is a great single box game, which is exactly what this channel is kind of interested in. I think one of my blurbs is the best possible 2-player game that we can make, and you get Emberguard, you paint up the models, you have this really nice board game that you can get out and play. One of the things about it is for this release, we did have some old legacy warbands that are getting re-released and coming back. So on the left, we have the cards for them, and on the right, we've got 4 boxes, one for each of the Grand Alliances. In that, it's got 4 warbands each, and it does have the cards for them. It's a little frustrating if you're someone like me who already has at least 1, and sometimes 2 or 3 of the warbands in each of these. So it's not really an option for me, but I will be having a look at eBay. I did do another video talking about the release of Warhammer Worlds, so if that's something you're interested in, please do check that out and see what you think. So it's a little bit, few criticisms, but largely I think it is a positive release, and hopefully GW going forward will be able to capitalize on it. Kill Team. Obviously, we've recently got the new edition of Kill Team. We haven't had any releases in November, although we did get one in December, which I'll talk about next month. But we did get an update to the rules, and it's not a balance patch. It's just a tidy up of some of the mistakes that kind of crept in. So one of the notable ones here is Imperial Naval Breachers. When they were released with the PDF, they were getting an extra man, an extra Navy breacher, essentially. So a lot of players were looking around eBay, seeing if they can pick up that extra one so they can make their warband legal, because you couldn't actually make it legal from the box, the one box Kill Team. I keep saying warband, so I mean Kill Team. And then this update just pulled that back again. So it was a mistake, wasn't intended to be that extra person, and now you can play out of the box. So, you know, if you're a fan, it's definitely worth a shot looking through it just to see if there's anything that is updated or anything that might have affected you. As far as I'm aware, the app should be updated with everything, so if you're going from that, you should be good. Another thing that we did get in November was this Joint Ops mission pack. Now, I do have that Sniper's Alley. That's actually the first out of 3 missions. And then we have that MPO data card. So MPO is non-player operative. So these are the... I don't want to say AI, but they're the game played units. And in this particular series, we have the players going up against a sniper in 3 different options. So we have a new profile for this sniper, although this is kind of a feature for this particular one. I'm not sure you'd necessarily include another ones, but you know, maybe you could. So basically they're in position and they are pretty... devastating 3 when they fire with that sniper rifle. So one of the cool things is you were able to use that new model that they have. So those are the Ratlings, and I think that was it was kind of a Thanksgiving-esque one because they're chowing down on some turkey and some sausages, which was pretty cool. I love that they're doing this. They did actually release an additional one in December, which I'll talk about next month, to tie in with Space Marine 2, which I thought was brilliant. And the new Joint Ops, I think, is one of the best things, for me at least, in this new edition of Kill Team. I love the kind of story-driven ones. I love co-op play. I love being able to mess around with the rules and kind of carve out a kind of cool story and a cool game experience, and that is exactly what they have here. Now we've had 2 different Joint Ops mission packs, and each time they're kind of developing things a little bit more, which I think is great. And yeah, hopefully they keep doing that. It's a great way to encourage people to paint up new models. So in this case, get your snipers painted. In the other one, to get your Titus and your Tyranids painted. But yeah, I think it's fantastic. It's really good. But that's all we had for Kill Team. Obviously, there's a lot more release came out in December. And that was everything. So, okay, let's go through them. So we just talked about Kill Team. Kill Team's had its big new releases, and we've got a bunch of new releases coming out in December. Necromunda hasn't had much in a while, but does have a lot of previews up. So I think once we head into January, we're probably going to have a ton of releases. And I say January because typically the December season for GW is quite quiet. I've been told by some staff members on occasion, it's not just once, that the reason they do this is because they don't want to bring in anything new, and their primary demographic is moms. So yeah, that's where GW make all their money. It's from the moms. So basically, they want to make sure that when the list for Christmas has been passed in, that nothing's going to be changing at the last minute, and instead whatever's on the list, the moms are going to be able to pick up and spend that money on, which I think is really nice. If that is the reason GW do it, great, fantastic. I think it's really, really nice of them to ease out for the December season, so people can actually get the things they want for Christmas. Legion Imperialis, I think is going great. We haven't had any big releases since October. Is that right? We've had Dark Mechanicum. When did they come out? Okay, they must have been October. And then Warcry hasn't had anything. It's kind of gone into that kind of cooling period that we saw at the end of Kill Team last edition. And then people are speculating and talking about a new edition of Warcry. Warcry is a great place. It's got some wonderful models. And every time we get an Age of Sigmar release, it's not too long afterwards that we get more rules for it. So even though that does say September, I think in October we did get a few extra models and bits and pieces. So I'm certainly not worried about Warcry, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in the future. Blood Bowl, it'll get its release eventually. Underworlds has just had a bunch of big stuff, and Warhammer Quest is it is what it is. It'll get a big release eventually at some point, but yeah, obviously not yet. And that was everything for this episode. I'm not going to go with the normal jingle telling you to do the things because we just hit 4K subscribers, which is really, really cool. So yeah, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, please do. I really, really enjoy making these videos. It helps me keep focused on my hobby, which is my primary fun activity as a grown-up. So it is really nice to have an outlet, and thank you very much to one and all for liking those videos, for listening and commenting. It really does mean a lot to me. All right, have a great week, and if I don't talk to you before that, have a great Christmas.